Hey everyone, it's Joe from Gadgetry Tech, and today I'm going to review the Kinnls Cameron massage chair. Kind of weird, right? I promise later in the review you'll find out why I took on reviewing this chair and how I feel it ties into the channel and what I think a lot of my viewers may see a benefit from. More on that, but this chair retails for $18.99 US, so $1,900 US. I will have a link in the description below that takes you to the website. As of right now, they are on sale. I don't know if that will sway your opinion after watching this review, if that final price will make a determining factor, but I will have links in the description below so you can find it. I have no marketing or special kickback set up with Kinnls. I didn't even entertain it or ask. I don't do any of my reviews for monetary exchange. I just get a product and I cover it. This one was sent to me from Kinnls, so I do appreciate them sending that out and work with us. However, like I said, no money was made. This is going to be my honest opinion. I am going to share my pros and cons, things I like, things I don't like, and help you make a decision later in the review if we're even entertaining a chair like this. So with that being said, let's dive in. Now, normally I don't review chairs too often. I reviewed one recently from Vertigear, and that one I liked a lot. As far as a computer chair goes, it had good back support, and that's something that I was always lacking in a computer chair. The reason why this chair kind of excited me is because when I got asked if I was interested in reviewing this, I kind of had a vision of what I would even need this chair for. At first, I was like, even though it's a nice, expensive chair, it looks good, I don't know if it's worth it for the channel to cover. It's not really my target audience, for example. A lot of people come to me for audio, gaming, etc. You know, nice plug in what I do in my channel. But the reason why I took this on is because when I test beautiful headphones like these, and I don't just listen to 2 songs and make my review. I listen to them for weeks or hours at a time at night or during the day when I work. And there are definitely times where I'm just sitting there listening to music and I'm like, I'm in my computer chair. I have good back support, whatever chair you're using. It's not conducive to an extended listening session. Working on your keyboard and typing, to me, is a little different than kicking back with a headphone and enjoying music. And I would prefer to just sit on a couch or a lazy boy to listen to music. But all of my gear, like that rack behind me, that giant Vulcan rack with amps, and my computer desk with headphone amps and DACs, I can't bring a couch to the desk. So I looked at this and I'm like, it has kind of like lazy boy vibes. Me being an aging Italian, naturally I get excited. If you're Italian and you have that relative or whatever nationality you are, everyone's got that family member that kicks back in the lazy boy or the recliner and just passes out. So I'm like, this is finally my chance to get one. But it's on wheels, which means I can bring it to my desk or over to the rack, listen to music and jam out. And this thing reclines. You can pull a lever and kick it back and get comfy. So that's why I accepted this review. Now, as far as the brand goes, the chair is actually built in the US, so that explains part of the price point. It also comes with a 10-year warranty, so the build quality should be good. A high warranty doesn't always mean it's the best possible thing that you can buy, but having a 10-year manufacturer warranty where they stand by the product is great. They're not going to cover things like excessive wear, a collapsed cushion from prolonged use, but if things are breaking, you have a piston failure, the armrest is coming loose, stuff like that, that's the type of thing that's covered. So that is a great starting point. Now, I mentioned this chair selling for $1,900. This is in a microfiber leather. It's a synthetic leather. This leather feels really good. It is much closer to a real leather than some other chairs I've had with a faux leather before. But if you do want the leather option, it's only $100 more, which at that price point, it really just comes down to preference or morals, I guess. Whatever your reason for or against cowhide leather versus synthetic, that's the price difference, $1,900 to $2,000. It also comes in several colors. You can get it in black, you can get it in white, khaki, sunflower, which is like a distressed looking red and blackish marble color, and gray. Now, regardless of which color option or which fabric choice you pick, the armrests are the same color. You get wooden armrests. They say they're hand carved. Or handmade from a piece of wood. They are crafted extremely well. I think like the beveled edges and the way they're formed, they seem really high quality. This is a very hard wood. It's a dense wood. It does not feel like a pine. If it, for any reason it is, whatever lacquer they're using is like another level, because it has like a satin finish to it, almost like what my desk is. But the color doesn't change. I think the wood's going to hold up for a long period of time. Some people will probably prefer a padded armrest, but this is just a design aesthetic. It is actually comfortable thanks to the shape. Computer chairs often are just that hard plastic thing that people buy pads for anyway. So, but I did find the comfort nice. I did think that when you recline the chair all the way back, there's a little bit of a hard edge on the back of the armrest, and that hard edge can lead to some discomfort if you put your elbow in the wrong spot. If the chair is upright, you don't really feel it, but I just wanted to call that out. Again, it's more of a design thing and just how the wood is shaped. Now, interestingly, the latch to recline the chair on the website shows this chrome finish. It matches the rest of the trim of the chair, which is like this reflective metallic chrome. Mine is all black, and I actually like the black more, so I don't know if they did a revision or if it's just with this particular model it's in black. It is still a metal latch. The latch feels extremely robust, so there's no weird issues, I guess, with the way the tolerances are. Nothing on the chair feels like it's flimsy or it's putting on a facade of being an expensive chair by still using less expensive parts. Some brands will just make something premium by jacking up the price, but it doesn't mean you get the quality. So the latch felt solid. I just want to point out that mine's black, not the chrome that was seen on the website. Now, I actually filmed the entire assembly process in this chair, and I was a little skeptical at first because Kinnls said this chair takes only 10 to 15 minutes to build. And the size of this chair, the armrest, the base, like the wheels, the pedestal, all that stuff, there's a lot of things you typically have to build in a chair. So I'm like, man, 10, 15 minutes, how the heck is that possible? Well, that's because it's basically fully assembled. You get two boxes when you buy the Cameron chair. The smaller box that's flat, almost like a picture frame box, has the base in it, that 5-spoke pedestal, the 5 wheels, and the piston. Unbox that box first, put the wheels in the base of the pedestal, and then drop the piston on top. Don't press that little button on top of the piston. That's dangerous. It'll shoot outward. But that's basically it. All you have to do is put those 3 pieces together. Then the entire other box, the large box, this chair is already fully assembled. It's just folded onto itself to take up less room in the box. There's only one bolt you have to install. It comes with an Allen wrench. You just use a normal wrench to hold the other side because the nut has that like self-locking rubber washer inside. But once you put the whole chair onto the base that you just assembled, you flip the back upright. Then there is one bolt on the bottom to connect the little shock or strut, if you will. That's going to keep the chair from, falling forward and back. You put that Allen wrench through it, tighten it on the other end, and it's done. That's the assembly process. Assembly is a piece of cake. I wish more manufacturers did this because it kind of takes the guesswork out, and especially when you're spending a lot of money, knowing that it's basically ready to go is great. So in addition to the chair and all the stuff you just built, the other things you get are a pillow for your neck and head, a power cord because this is a massage chair, and the massage chair remote. Now, I wasn't a fan I'm kind of OCD when it comes to wires, which kind of sucks when I change things out that's wired all the time. I tend to always have to fix it. But this just plugs into the back of the chair and it's kind of like hanging off. Now, with the Cameron, they actually have the pocket built into the back of the chair, which I didn't know when I first started using it because I'm like, what am I supposed to do with the remote when I'm not using a massage? Well, you can just tuck it into the back and it's big enough where you can even stuff the wire. So you just see one little cord coming in. That's great and it's out of the way. Now this remote, let's be real, it looks like it's already aged a bit. It's kind of like a yellowy off-white. The buttons work perfectly. You can hear the clicks. It's a very tactile button. The cord's pretty robust. It's easy to detach, so if you accidentally snag this, it'll pop off the chair. And you can obviously use the chair without it entirely. So yeah, it would have been nice if it was a more modern or futuristic looking remote control instead of this. But from a functionality standpoint, it worked totally fine. And I'll talk about the massage performance in a moment. The power cord. This is a 12 volt, 1 amp power cord. It is a standard barrel connector. I'll put a link in the description below to extend this because, in my opinion, if you can't tell by looking at this video, this cord's rather short. And if you think of where this would typically plug in on the wall or on a desk or surge protector, that's not a lot of cord to make it to the back of the chair. especially when you have wheels involved that you might move around. So I wish that they gave me a longer power cord. You can use an extension cord and extend the power cable, but I would recommend doing a barrel cable connector that extends it. 12-foot extensions are like $7 or $10 or something on Amazon. It's dirt cheap. And then the nice thing of that too is if you get a snag, it should pull the barrel plug loose instead of like ripping something off the wall. So it's safer as well. Plus it looks better having just a barrel extension instead of like this block sitting on the floor. So wish it was longer, but that is what it is. And then this pillow. This is a rather thick pillow. It is not memory foam. It's a standard cushion. I don't know, I guess a polyester fill, it feels like. It expands rather quickly. This is an interesting one. So in the upright position, I do not like using this pillow at all for my head, because it kind of forces you to do this a little bit, you know, like from the whole posture thing, I'm getting pushed forward. I actually alternate because you're supposed to move your back around once in a while. If you're using this as an office chair and you're sitting in it upright for an extended period of time during the day, I actually like stuffing the pillow for my lower back once in a while just to force my back to kind of arch correctly. And that extra support, you know, kept me more upright, as you can see. The natural shape of this chair, the seat cushion tends to tilt up a little bit, even in its level stance. So you're getting support on the front part of your thighs, like towards your knees, lifting them up slightly. It's like elevating your legs like this. On that note, so I don't forget, this does have adjustable height. I'm 6 feet tall, and if I do it on the max height setting, my heels cannot touch the ground. So if you're worried about height, it looks really low because of the seat design, but it can be high enough to get your legs mostly off the ground. So unless you're like 6'5" and up, it may not be the right chair. But for me, I have more than enough height. I can't go to the max height setting, otherwise it's actually not comfortable. In the upright position, this chair doesn't have like an extended lower lumbar support unless you do something like put a pillow down there. It's a little bit more flat, and the back actually pulls back even. Again, it feels more like a couch or a lazy boy, in my opinion. It doesn't feel like an ergonomic computer chair, of course. They also, because of the padding up top here, it kind of keeps your body completely vertical. This chair can go 90 degrees vertical. Now, luckily, that tilting mechanism isn't like one click here, one click here, one click here. There's a lot of adjustment that you can lock in between. And I find that even kicking it back a little bit, 5 to 10 degrees, made the chair much more comfortable for me, even though it's not perfectly vertical. What made the chair much more comfortable for me is when I kicked way back to recline. I feel like the shape of this chair lends itself extremely well to doing this. So hopefully this doesn't hurt your productivity. If you're getting this chair for office work and you're encouraged to kick back, you're really going to relax more often. I actually like that it's a lower back, because some of the office chairs, to keep your head like this the whole time, it's like, no, you can't rest. You must stay up. It's good from a productivity standpoint, but we all need to chill once in a while. So for my use case, I talked about headphones. This design is great. And if you go full recline, that pillow can actually help, you know, keep your head up a little bit, but you can still be extremely comfortable. I had low expectations of the massage performance because most computer chairs, this is obviously a little different, they usually suck with massages. I've had a couple in the past, like a long time ago, and they were not good. So when I saw like 12 volt, 1 amp, I'm like, it's not that powerful. Maybe they're not going to be that strong. This obviously isn't a shiatsu massage. It's not kneading your back. It's not one of those percussion massagers that's like jackhammering you. The chair vibrates. Now, yeah, I can tell you it's a lot more powerful than I was expecting, and it actually does a good enough job where I really felt it was relaxing, and it actually did something of benefit. It's not like, okay, it's vibrating and now it's done. I actually felt like it can make a little bit of a difference, which is pretty cool. So you get on this remote, when you first turn it on, there's a default program it runs. You can change the intensity from low, medium, high. I pretty much was always on medium or high. Low was more or less your basic vibrating chair. Didn't do it as much. Function will cycle through all 9 profiles. You can just leave it on one of those, and that's a mix of the 4 zones, the intensity, the speed, how much it's alternating from different zones, which ones are active, etc. So toggle through those. You're going to like different ones. Sometimes you want one over the other. Or if you hit position, you can just choose one of the 4 zones yourself. The 4 zones is basically your upper neck. You have pretty much in my body, again, I'm 6 feet. It's massaging right where my shoulder blades are, the lower side of my shoulder blade. The other zone is the low back, and then you have your like butt and thigh massage. So I enjoyed most of them. I really like the lower back one the most. That's typically where I have the most tension and stress buildup or whatever. And then you have a timer function, 15 and 30 minutes, and again, auto versus manual. Now, as far as functions go, I have the height adjustment, like I said. You also have this like pull on the left-hand side that if you pull it out, you can recline the chair really far back. There's an adjustable spring so you can change the tension depending on your weight. If you're a heavier person, this chair will go back quite far in its default configuration, because there's also a sliding footrest, which is a piece of cake to use. You can grab it with one arm, whether you're sitting in or not, pull the footrest out, it just slides forward, and then you flip the cushion over and out, and then you can rest your legs on it. You can even flip it back one-handed if you want and tuck it back in under the chair, and it's a basic chair again. So the reclining function with the footrest is something I really, really liked. And like I said, my only issue with the chair is if you're not using the pillow on your lower back and you're completely vertical, I didn't quite like the comfort as much as I would have hoped for an $1,800 chair, just to be straight. With the pillow, it was much more supportive for me. As soon as I reclined it a little bit and I could kick back, the ergonomics of the chair were much better for me. The chair is built extremely well. You just have to dial in the shape, and we're all going to have different preferences and body types and what we're looking for. That's just based off my body type and the positions I had to do to make it comfortable for me. So we're nearing the end of the review. Look, I'm not oblivious to the fact that this is a very expensive chair. And some of you found this video because you are legitimately interested in buying a chair like this and you wanted to see what a reviewer had to say. Or some of you are a subscriber to my channel. Huge thank you for that, by the way. And now you're seeing this chair for the first time, something completely different than I normally cover. Well, I've been doing this for a long time. I listen to music constantly. I'm testing headphones, IEMs, the night sessions, if you will, when I'm working and typing up something. And I can recall like 90% of the time I've been doing these extended listening sessions, I'm always at a desk because I take a few notes here and there, but I'm connected to all my gear at a desk or like that rack. And I always just wheel my computer chair where I have to go. Unless I'm using like a little Quiddlex 5K Bluetooth DAC and I'm sitting on my couch or my bed, this is like the missing link. And a lot of people spend a lot of money on gear, but then they can sit in a $100 computer chair. And to me, comfort is a huge, huge thing for enjoying music. It's the same thing with headphones. If the headphone's not comfortable, even if it sounds great, the perception is the headphone doesn't sound as great because it's uncomfortable. So this is, for me in my life, this was kind of like a missing link for my extended listening sessions at night. It's the blend of my couch lazy boy with the versatility that I needed from a movable chair with adjustments, because sometimes I do need to sit vertical. This is a great position for me. I'm kicked back. Like, I'm not going to feel like I'll be as productive being upright in an ergonomic chair, but I can take a few notes as I'm testing stuff and hearing things, and then pull the lever and kick back, close my eyes, and listen for as much as an hour. I can't tell you how many nights I stay up late doing that. Now I have something that I can more enjoy, so I can focus on the music, and it feels more relaxing. It's almost like a Zen thing. So yeah, the Cameron isn't going to be for everybody. I'm not a shill. I'm not going to tell you it is or it isn't. If you're just using this for work during the day, then yeah, maybe an ergonomic chair is going to be better for your back. Or this is fine because you don't have back issues and you love the looks of this robust leather chair with wooden handles, because let's face it, it's a good looking chair. I even like the stitching pattern on the cushion, the way it's weaved. So when you're not sitting in it, it looks fairly premium. That about wraps up the review. I'm not going to tell you you have to buy this today. This is going to change your world. But I really think a lot of people would love a chair like this if your lifestyle is like mine. So with that being said, I hope you found this review helpful, or I hope you learned something new about a product that's out there today you may not have known about before. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because now that I can test even more stuff for long periods of time, I do have a lot of audio content coming out soon. I'm not going to be doing too many more chair stuff. I'm focusing on that, but this was a really cool thing for me to cover. So I hope you found it helpful. I'd love to see you at the next video. With that being said, have a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye.